Hi, and welcome to Grandad on Enfield. Touching on a very emotional subject here today. For the past couple of weeks, for a good while, there's been mainly young men driving cars the wrong way down the motorway. Now, this actually happened to me. I'm on the motorway where it happened. I was just after overtaking a truck. It was about 4 a.m. I left my house at 4 a.m. I had to be in Belfast for 9. Well, I had to be in Belfast for 10, so I said I'd take my time. And so he just after overtaking a truck. Now, if you look to the right of the picture, you can see that after we say the fast lane, it's either concrete barrier or, as we like to call them, the biker cheese graters, which is wire between steel bars, tensioned, and they're normally behind a hedge as well. So if you run into them at speed, you're, especially on a bike, you're in trouble. But anyhow, I was driving to Belfast, and my wife was alongside me. I said, them lights look very bright coming towards us, because at that stage there was a concrete barrier between the two carriageways. And next of all, the car came down past me. He was driving in the fast lane, going in the opposite direction to traffic. Now, if it had been 30 seconds later, I would have been in the fast lane with a truck to my left and nowhere to go. So it happened on the 9th, the 16th and the 20th of August this year. There was also an incident where an elderly man got confused and drove down the motorway as well earlier in the year, but we're talking, these are young fellas purposefully driving down the wrong side of the motorway to get away from the Gardaí or police chase. Now, I don't have much on the one that happened on the 9th of August, but on the 16th of August, there was 8 of them in a car, and they hit a young man in his 20s. I think it was about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Could have been a bit later. He was heading to work. Yeah, they were seriously injured, and the young fella, I think there's a GoFundMe page for that young person, that young man. All he was doing was going to work. Now, on the 20th is one of the worst ones. There was 5 fellas in the car, aged between 15 and 18, but again, there's reports that 2 of them were 19. It's kind of all mixed up, because even on the day it happened, there was 3 women in the car. They were sisters, ages in 20s to 30s, and there was, on the data report, a young girl that was 9 years of age. It turned out that, they were 3 sisters. They were heading from Carlow to Dublin Airport for a family wedding in the UK. The 9-year-old girl was actually a 9-year-old boy. Now, the 5 young fellas in the car that hit them were all died, and they found there was, like I said, earlier reports, there was 4 died, and later on they found a 5th body further away from the car. So obviously none of them were wearing seatbelts. They don't wear seatbelts because it will take that extra couple of seconds to get out of the car. Now, do I have sympathy for those that died or got injured? I definitely have sympathy for the innocent ones that were driving the right way and fully legal and insured and everything. It's kind of not hard to have sympathy for teenagers. I know they've done something really stupid. I know they endangered other lives. I know that, again, there was reports one of the cars was told them, there were reports when the 5 died that they actually bought the car. an old BMW, but then again there's a report saying it was stolen, so they're contradicting each other. But do you have sympathy for the 5 in the BMW that hit the 3 young ladies and the 9-year-old child? I kind of think you have to have a bit of empathy for them anyhow. I mean, who knows, they could have turned their life around in 2 years' time, or they'll never get the chance now to. But, and then they're putting these out on social media, on other social media platforms. YouTube doesn't allow it, I know that, but they put them on other social media platforms. And on the news the other night, the guard was saying that these things are only getting like 200 hits and 150 hits, and so it's not for a money-making exercise. It's just they realise that if they drive too dangerously, that the Gardaí will not pursue them down the wrong way of the motorway. As simple as that, they can't. So let me know what your thoughts are on it. Like I said, it's a hard one. You hate to see anyone that young die, but I'd hate to see an innocent person die as well for doing nothing wrong. So, what do you think? By the way, I'm going to speed this up, but I was driving that motorway. I had the GPS on the handlebar, and I was doing exactly the speed limit. So, anyone that passed me was speeding, and there was a fair few past me. So, I'll leave it there. Ride your own ride. Be safe out there. Grandad on Enfield.